8:03. And I am Dan Cilio here on San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. We are whipping through this thing here, man. Last hour of the program already. And when we rolled into town, I could not wait to talk to the folks that are running this basketball program here at San Diego State. I am such a fan of Steve Fisher. To me, I look at coaches that I would want to play for and guys that I would want to be associated with because they're building something. Over the weekend, Coach Fisher ended up getting his 300th victory and at San Diego State against Colorado State, I think it was, like 65-56. And, Boise State on Wednesday. And these are the type of programs, if you're a college athlete, you want to play with and play for because they're building something. And on the hook with us now, Justin Hutson, the assistant coach there with the Aztecs, 19-1 right now, undefeated in conference play. And, Coach, I say this to everybody all the time. I played for Jimmy Johnson in college, and there are a few coaches that have the comfort zone that allow players each and every single season to really build an identity for a basketball program or a football program or whatever program. And that seems to be the case here with the Aztecs. You agree?
I sure do agree, Dan. And first of all, welcome to San Diego.
Thank you very much. My wife and I can't wait to go. We saw the excitement over the weekend and how that place goes off the chain there, man. And we can't wait to come to a couple basketball games.
Can't wait to have you. We don't have too many left at home, so we got to make sure we get you out there quick.
Absolutely. But, again, Coach, I always look for those guys that are building something, and each and every single year is a new chapter in a coach's tenure on his record and what he's doing with the program. What makes this year's group, I don't want to say better than last year's group, but different than last year's group?
Coach Fisher does a great job of managing the team and putting them together, and like you say, he's a guy that everybody would like to play for, and work for. And as far as this year's team, we're still building. This season is not over. So I think we started off really well. The guys have really gelled really well. They're learning one another. They're playing really hard, playing great defense, making timely shots. So, those are things that a lot of Coach Fisher's teams have done in the past and hopefully continue to do in the future.
Coach, one of the things that we had when we were winning all of our games was we had a lot of love for one another. And, somebody that maybe not in the locker room and doesn't understand what that means, it doesn't mean what many people think. I'm talking about guys that care about each other, guys that are vested in each other. If you don't have that in a room and you have a few guys that are off the reservation, as we like to say here, you're never going to win. I don't care what the sport is. Is there that in the locker room?
Chemistry is important. You're exactly right about that. I couldn't agree more. And, sometimes it gets a little overrated, and like as an athlete, guys get fiery and, it's very competitive. But I think we have a lot of respect for one another in the locker room. Everybody has respect for one another. I think everybody truly enjoys one another, and that doesn't always win you games, but you are exactly right. If you don't have that, if you have guys going in different directions, then it's going to be very hard to win games.
Assistant coach for the Aztecs, Justin Hutson, here on the Dan Cilio Show on San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. The health of the basketball team has been a little bit of an issue, Coach. Can you give us an update on it?
It has been an issue. Josh Davis hasn't practiced in a while. His knee has been hurt. We've had a few guys under the weather and sick. So we're just all trying to get healthy and make sure we come back at the right time. And, the new saying in the NFL is what next man up. So it's that way with us.
And what I dig about that, Coach, is you're building also a roster that people feel vested in. When you get healthy, my God, you're going to be a better basketball team because the depth level of the basketball team sitting at 19-1 and undefeated in conference play as you guys get ready for Boise State Wednesday night right here on San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. Coach, that's what you're looking for when the next man up can step up and you guys don't see that drop-off. That really says a lot to recruiting.
It really does. and you have 13 young men on scholarship, so we expect them all to be ready to play. We have confidence in all of them, and it's going to be tough going into Boise on the road. Not too many people in these conferences lose on the road. You're always going to a nice home court advantage. Nothing, I think I take VAS over anybody, in the show. However, the other schools have, they've kind of copied us, and some of them have had tradition before. And when we come to town with a number 5 ranking, on our back, it's going to be very crowded and a wild atmosphere, and we're going to have some of those guys off the bench step up again.
Coach, how are your guys dealing with success right now? And obviously there's a bigger prize at the end of the year here on what we're looking at with the NCAA tournament. But how do you guys handle success? Because sometimes, and I remember just with myself and my experience, the first time you get it, not everybody in the room knows how to handle it.
I would agree. And, it's tough. You're always trying to manage that. That's day to day. You can be handling it real great one day and not too great the next day. And we're always trying to manage that situation. We're always trying to let them know that, how we have gotten our success, and we don't want to sustain it, and we have to continue to get better. Either you're getting better or worse. So we can't sit back and, we don't have a month to take off and parade around San Diego and say we're 19-1. We still got games to play every week. So hopefully our guys are realizing that, and we're trying to remind them of that at all times.
And Coach, when as we started the interview out with, when you're talking about building a program, Coach gets his 300th victory, and, when you really don't have tradition, that really speaks to the recruiting of what you guys have been able to do on knocking on kids' doors saying, we want you to be an Aztec. I mean, I'm comparing it to my time at the University of Miami because we really didn't have tradition, and we were building our own tradition at the time. So I kind of see a little bit. And when I was talking with Coach Tarkanian, is a dear friend of mine as well, and when Coach was building that legacy at UNLV, it really speaks to the guys that you have in the room when you're going in and knocking on doors, being able to get guys. How are you able to do that?
Recruiting is all about relationships, and we have a lot to sell here at San Diego State. The city's great. The school is great. The administration backs us. We have a great fan base. But you are exactly right about your tradition. Sometimes it's hard to fight tradition when the names ring out that, young players have heard of basketball programs since they're growing up. Sometimes they dream of going to that school, and it's kind of like a first love that, you have to fight sometimes. Now we are building our own tradition. Coach Fisher does have a name that rings out that people remember. And we just have to all go in and band together and show what we have and believe what we have. We really believe in Coach Fisher and our program and our city.
I'll tell you what, Coach, all you have to do is get me on an airplane on a recruiting trip. Since I've come here to San Diego, that's all we do is get in our car and drive around, You get me on a recruiting trip, that'd be a tough ticket to get me back out on that airplane going home again. So the key is just getting these kids on the airplane and getting them down here to the school.
Yeah, we can get them down here. We got to make sure we keep them here.
That's right. What do you?
Everybody, when we bring recruits down and we show them the city, we do know that the other schools say, "Hey, you're going to a place for basketball. You're going to a place to make the NBA. You're going for a place to make the NCAA tournament. You're not going because of the city." So now that we have done that, and we have players in the NBA, and we do make the NCAA tournament, it's easier to sell those things instead of just selling a kid of the weather's nice.
Absolutely, man. Well, good luck to you Wednesday night against Boise State. Like you said, on the road, very tough in that conference to continue to stay undefeated, which you guys are right now at 19-1. Good luck to you on getting that 20th victory. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Hope to see you soon at a game.
You will, man. Thank you.
All right.
We are definitely going to make it. First thing we did, my wife's like, look at the excitement level that they have there at that school. And when you see what Coach Fisher is doing with building the excitement level, awesome stuff. Justin Hutson, assistant coach there with the Aztecs as they take on take on Boise State on Wednesday. Man, absolutely awesome. Going to catch up with Rick Barry also at 8:30. Rick was supposed to be with us at 7. We're going to get a hold of him at around 7:30, and we'll talk a little NBA with him as well. No doubt. I cannot wait to go to some of those basketball games. I got to tell you, Bobby, when you get a guy like Steve Fisher as your coach, man, and he calls you and says that he wants you to come play for him, make no mistake about it, man. Those are the kind of coaches that you want to play for. A guy that I'd want to play for.